So this is day 4 of my trip. I've come down from Sonora Pass. I'm right outside of Lee Vining, California, which is about, I don't know, 15 minutes from Yosemite. And I've decided to fish Lee Vining Creek. Now, it's been quite a long time since I've actually fished the creek, but I was in the area, and it's a pretty long creek, and I can check out sections and drive to another section, and if they're not producing. It's a little different kind of fishing for me in that it's a put and take fishery, which basically means that it gets regular plantings of stocked fish. But I was in the local sporting goods store today, and they had a big jug that was like donate to our stocking program, and so I figured why not. I threw in a couple bucks, and I figured I'd come out here and give the stream a try. Now there are a bunch of people here. I was talking to one of the fellows down over by the dam that's fishing, and it looks like they stocked last night. There were some fish holding there, but they weren't interested in the fly, so I'm gonna move up into the stream. So there's a faint trail, and I've decided to follow it upstream. Not quite sure where it goes. I'm seeing lots of insect activity. There's caddis that are hatching right now, but I'm not seeing any active fish, so I'm gonna hop in my car and try upstream a little bit, maybe a little bit into the canyon. So I've moved upstream, and they're the mosquitoes. There are fish right there. So the mosquitoes have gotten so bad that I broke down and put on some DEET, which isn't great because the fish can smell that stuff, so it may make it harder than it already is to catch fish. But you can see there's just a whole bunch in there. And there's one, let's see, I'm trying to think of where. Okay, there's the big rock. So there's a whole bunch right here and here. Hopefully you can see them right there, center screen. It's a hard spot for me to fish to. I'm on this bank, and I've got waders on, but that's got to be a 4-foot drop. And then there's all these trees. And then it kind of sweeps around, so it's hard for me to get a good cast in there, even with a roll cast. So there's a fish down there in that root pile that I've been trying to hook. I've already lost one fly. I don't want to lose too many more. Anyway, in the meantime, while I've been tying flies on and off, this guy came and was casting to the fish that I was casting to with a spinning rod. Picked up 3 fish. So I've done something I typically don't do, and that is absolutely hammer these fish. And I'm just not getting any takes whatsoever. But that hasn't stopped me from standing over them for the last hour and a half, just hammering away. And in the process, I've probably lost a half dozen flies already. And usually, if I can see it, I can catch it. But not today. Just can't seem to get my flies down there fast enough. You probably can't see that, but there are 2 fish underneath that log, and they just moved forward. Oh, now they both moved into the pool. Sorry. Finally, I had the bigger of the 2, and of course I flubbed the hook set, so didn't get him. So my first fish of the year. All this time I've been trying to dead drift it to him, and I guess I should have been stripping it, because a little action and this guy took. Whoa! So 2 fish in 3 minutes, all from inducing a little action in the fly. I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out. I mean, the spin guys picked up fish after fish, so of course they have motion. I don't know. I'm a knucklehead. Make that 3 fish, but I've only landed the 1. That's a good fish. See if I can get him in. Wow, that was a 20-inch fish. And unfortunately, just as I got him to the bank, he broke off. So I didn't get it on video, but it was a really nice fish. Well, I'm embarrassed to say that it took me this long to figure out how to catch fish here. Pretty basic, I guess. I was just overthinking it. Yeah, you know, first fishing trip of the year. Stuff like that's bound to happen. Oh, there's another fish. The sun's low, which is making it difficult to spot fish. I think I'm going to head upstream a little bit and then maybe head into Mammoth because I'm craving some tacos.
There you are, Fred. You got him?
Yeah, trying to get him to shore is the hard part.
You've been calling him Fred.
Been calling me Fred?
No.
Oh, this guy Fred.
Yeah.
Ah.
We were wondering where he went. No way.
Do you guys want him?
Oh, no.
Okay, because I'm just going to throw him back.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. If I can get him without losing my fly, which is my main objective here, since it is the last. Okay.
Look at that, Marcelo.
Let's
What
see
is
here.
this? The rainbow?
Yeah, it's a little rainbow. That was a really good day of fishing. It was fun seeing all those big fish, and I'm just sort of hanging out here at the mobile station in Lee Vining, enjoying a Fentimans dandelion and burdock, which I'd never tried before. I like Fentimans drinks. I like the ginger beer. I like some of their other stuff. I like the colas, the lemonade. So I figured I'd give this a try, and well, if I'm honest, it kind of tastes like cough medicine. But yeah, that was a fun day of fishing. You know, I got to sight fish, which I love to do. It took me a while to figure out what the pattern was. I hammered those fish hard, and then once I eventually figured it out, it made things a little bit easier. You know, which is funny because I knew early on that I wasn't getting my flies down. So instead of, I didn't think I had any extra weight, so I tried putting on 2 bead heads, and then when that was getting the flies down, but it still wasn't getting down fast enough. And then I remembered that, so I moved me somewhat in the shade. You know, I was fishing 2 flies, two large beadhead flies, trying to get the flies down. But you know, that just wasn't. I mean, it was getting down, but it just wasn't getting in their face. And you really needed to have it in their face, you know, and then twitch it. It was funny because, you know, I mean, you could have the fly go right over the fish, and they just weren't moving. They weren't really interested in chasing anything unless it was right in front of their nose, and then all of a sudden they'd move. It was weird. But yeah, I knew I wasn't getting down. I tried putting on those 2 flies, and that wasn't getting down enough, and I was getting hung up and whatever. I remembered something that Andre Pouillons told me once, and that is carry a bunch of beads with you, and you always have shot. So, and you can always make any fly you want, a beadhead fly. You just carry the loose beads and tie it onto your tippet before you tie the fly on. And so I had about a half dozen beads in my fishing kit. And as soon as I broke those out, I had actually used 2 beads, and they were heavy beads. I mean, I usually use tungsten beads. So imagine fishing a beadhead, a tungsten beadhead fly size 12 tungsten beadhead fly with 2 additional tungsten beads tied onto the tippet right above it. I mean, that's a heavy fly, but that's what I needed. I needed the fly to get down, 18 inches, 22 inches, whatever, in in the same amount of distance, basically. So I needed, it's heavy, but I needed the flies to actually sink the same distance that they were traveling, because the window I had to get the flies to the fish was very narrow because of all the brush. So it had to get down fast. And then, once I got that, at the right level, and then, it was just one fish where, I came upon it and said twitch, and boom, that's what did it. So yeah, great day of fishing. It was fun meeting all those people. Everybody seemed to have fun. Everybody seemed to have, be catching fish. Yeah, it's got I don't know. Starts off kind of fruity and then gets kind of menacing. So I may go in and get another one and get something different, maybe a ginger beer. And I'm back, and this time I've got the Old English root beer. Now, really, I was hoping the other stuff would taste more like birch beer. I'm actually kind of craving birch beer, but geez, I don't think I've seen real birch beer in 35 years. I mean, since I was a kid. It's kind of ridiculous. But anyway, so if anybody knows of any good birch beer out there, let me know. But yeah, it was different kind of fishing for me. I don't usually fish put and take streams, and I mean, the name is apt, right? I mean, I was talking to the old guy, and he was like, yeah, they stocked last night, and all these fish will be gone in 2 days. So, it really is a put and take stream, and if you're not there right around stocking, you're going to have a rough day. But anyway, turned out to be a good day. Not a great day, but I ended up with probably a half dozen fish, and I caught one. It was funny because I went back and I looked at the tape. It was a big fish. It was like 20 inches, and here I am thinking I'm filming it the whole time, and that you'd be able to see it on camera, and so I wasn't worried so much about getting a picture of it when I landed it. It was on the edge of the bank, and I was about to grab it, and it broke off and swam away. And I was like, oh, no big deal because it's on camera, but you can't see anything but water. I went to the local Frioli in Mammoth. I always like to go there for Mexican food, and had some agua fresca. Had two like 32 ounce. I am so dehydrated. I had like two like 32 ounce cups of the horchata, and then their carne asada platter, and yeah, so that was dinner. So and I had such a good day, or it ended on such a good note. I mean, catching that fish and hanging out with that guy and his kid. I had such a good day. It ended on such a good note that I didn't feel like I needed to go to Hot Creek. Yeah, so that's the way I am sometimes. If I have a good day of fishing, I could come out here, I could plan to be out here for 4 days, and I could have a great day of fishing and be like, you know what, I'm not gonna top that, I'm going home. And that's the way I am sometimes, and so had a good day fishing today, and I guess I'm just gonna hang out here at the mobile station for as long as I can, and then head up the hill to go to sleep.